Hello everyone, welcome to ixamBee. Students, as you already aware that SIDBI Grade A results are out. Vacancies की बात करें तो 100 vacancies थी और competitions is really high, right? So we have like today we have Kiran Kumar Reddy with us with our ixamBee team on our ixamBee platform, who is ready to share his success story with all of you so that you can learn the important facts, important points from his like his journey, and you can proceed further for your upcoming preparation and opportunity. So I welcome Mr. Kiran Kumar Reddy to iXamB platform, and I'll thank you for sparing such a wonderful time in order to educate our students for in order to share your experience. Uh,
Thank you, sir. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
yeah. Before starting, I would like to know about you. Like, what is your educational background, and when did you thought of preparing for competitive examination?
So basically, I belong from Telangana. I have done my graduation in mechanical engineering in the year 2019. Right after my graduation, I have started I started appearing for these competitive examinations, basically bank and SSC. So I have been able to clear SBI PO, and I was working for State Bank as a professional officer for the last 13 months. So that's what.
So you have already cleared SBI PO, and now SIDBI is in your hand, right? So a lot of opportunities is in your hand. So I want to really know this fact since the exam pattern of SBI PO and let's say SIDBI is same, right? So what efforts you have put in as far as your quant reasoning English is concerned, or you can say the descriptive English is concerned. So what efforts you put in your preparation, and how SBI PO is different from like SIDBI.
So basically, while I was in final year of my graduation, I used to prepare for CAT examination.
Okay.
So basically, even from the start as well, I used to have some sound base in QRE. So I haven't faced much of the difficulty in these three subjects. So all I need to do is I need to prepare for current affairs, ESI, and finance related topics, and descriptive English part as well.
Okay. So I'll come to the topic one by one. Let's talk about the general awareness first because it's a majority chunk and many people usually fail in this particular section, right? So when it comes to preparing, like with special reference to banking and like financial industry, or you can say the ESI as well, right? So what all points should candidate keep in mind? How many months of current affairs we usually prepare? What are the portion of current affairs and static affairs? So we would like to listen from you.
Basically, sir, when it comes to general awareness in banking examinations and these regulatory body examination, they will test you of a very basic level. I think a basic understanding of what is going on in the society can make us through. And I think 4 to 6 months, last 4 to 6 months prior to mains examination will suffice, in my opinion. And
Okay.
I think a regular reading of newspaper can make things bit easier, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Okay,
You,
do you really think that reading newspaper and jotting down all the points from the newspaper will be a tedious task for the students since so many like capsules are available these days, right? So what are your suggestions on that?
I don't say want to jot down all the points from the newspaper, but I will definitely suggest want to regularly read newspaper because when it comes to descriptive part, you can have a wide gamut of top things to discuss about a single topic. When you go through newspaper regularly, you can put a topic in various dimensions.
Right.
Your horizon will be very wide so that you can easily come up with a lot of points than your competitors in the examination. And even in the objective type GA as well, there's some of the questions will be not covered in the capsules basically. So even those questions you can make a wild guess
Yeah.
based on your knowledge.
Right. So you are suggesting that if you are following a capsule, let's say like we have BPDA in iXamB, right, where we provide current affairs in the form of like monthly, weekly, and daily capsule. So if you are following any kind of that cash flow, then apart from that, you need to study like one
Yes,
article, maybe newspaper for your descriptive part, right? Because descriptive is very important nowadays because in SBI view, in SIDBI as well, descriptive play a major role. So yeah, definitely we should keep this thing in mind that reading newspaper will be beneficial for students, right? And when it comes to your content reasoning, see, we know that the majority of the question usually comes from puzzles like DI. 50% of the paper in reasoning consists of puzzles only. Let's
yes, sir.
say for SBI also or SIDBI also. So how can a person really practice puzzles, right? Because a lot of student fears from big statement like so. You need suggestion from that as well.
I think I will suggest anyone out there first to give a mock test to understand where one stands presently. And I think giving multiple mock tests and going through the solutions given at the end of the mock test will really help one to sail through these examinations, especially quant and reasoning. I don't think a particular book or a particular course will, definitely make one really, proficient in these subjects. But I think mock test will definitely do a very good job.
Yeah, mock test are the see mock test will really help you a lot in order to like identify your weakness in students, right? But one should puzzle. I normally recommend student to practice puzzle daily because puzzles are big statement and you have to comprehend the statement. You don't have to look for any shortcuts or logic. If you are good at comprehending the statement, then you are able to solve the puzzle. So I normally recommend people like solve at least two or three puzzles every single day. So when you were preparing, so were you used to like solve like puzzles every day or so? What was your like pattern?
Yes, sir. I basically recommend for anyone to give sectional tests, especially for reasoning, because you if you keep on giving puzzles without having a timer, you will be doing it very slowly, so that it will affect your speed in the examination. So I think one should definitely go through the sectional tests, especially for reasoning, so that
Right.
you can keep up with the pace of the examination.
Right. And what's your take on conceptual topic that usually syllogism question, reverse syllogism question come these days, and they are very like difficult to solve sometimes. You can say some good new pattern coding, decoding, new pattern input output are coming these days. So how did you practice like all the conceptual topic of reasoning, considering all the aspects in your mind?
I think whenever I write a mock test or a sectional test,
Hmm.
I will be analyzing at the end of the test that what are the topics that I am lagging. So I will just go to the YouTube, and I will just go through some videos of some good channels regarding that particular topic, and I will try to create some gain some knowledge or some tricks regarding that particular topic, and come back again, and I will just go back and again give my test, so that whether I was able to solve them at very quick time or not.
Okay, okay. When it comes to quant, right? Lot of people finds it difficult. Since you are preparing for CAT, so it might be a different thing for you, right? Might be an easy cakewalk. We can say cakewalk for you. But if someone is like struggling in quant, right? So what do you really suggest him? What are those important topics which are important for SIDBI or SBI or any other competitive exam? From that point of view, what are those important topics?
I think when it comes to quantitative aptitude, as you said, data input DI,
Yeah,
DI basically consists of calculations and topics from arithmetic. So one has to be really good at calculations, basic calculations, and then most people think that DI is something is a different topic in quant, but I don't see it as a different topic. I see it is a topic from arithmetic, basically because these days SBI and SIDBI, these examinations will be mostly asking your DI not based on just mere calculations. You need to apply few concepts of like time, speed, and distance, time and work, all these things in DI to get to the to arrive at the answer. So I think one who has a very good hold on these arithmetic topics can easily do this DI, because earlier days, like 3 to 4 years back, DI used to be just a calculation thing. But right
Right.
now, I don't think it's a just mere calculation game.
Yeah,
DI
all the
now,
topics are interlinked, right? You
yeah,
can you can find time and work portion in DI as well nowadays. So pattern are literally changing, and in this year RBI also we saw like different patterns of DI, or let's say so pattern is continuously changing. So we have to like get strong hold on arithmetic topics in order to get strong hold on DI. Like so
yeah,
both are interlinked. You are trying to
interlinked.
say. Okay. See, Kiran, I know that you are pretty comfortable in English, right? But many of our aspirants usually come from the rural background, right? So let's talk about the competitive English. Like I need to score more marks. Like if I am like preparing for any other competitive exam, I want to score really good in English, right? So, so how can one really prepare for English if he want to score well or he wants to clear the sectional cut?
So, in my opinion, I never see English as a subject. I basically, treat English as a language. So instead of going through the books and roles, basically for these examinations like banking and regulatory examinations, regulatory board examinations, you know, these examinations basically test our reading ability, the way we comprehend and commit the answer very quickly. Even other than RC questions, most of the questions will check your reading ability. I don't think one should have to learn all those complex rules and all in English to get some good marks in English basically. So I think what I've said earlier, that a good reading habit of newspaper or any books that you are comfortable with can fetch you very good marks in English.
Okay. So, do you want to bifurcate, like into, I usually bifurcate English into three parts. One, you can say grammar, other you can say reading comprehension or close test, and third part is vocab. So, one need to focus on three parts differently, or what is your like suggestions on that?
I don't think so, because uh, when you treat it as a language and you are a voracious reader. One, I think these vocab and grammar, these three things align in a single path, and you can definitely score some good marks. It's not like when it comes to an error detection question, you may not be knowing the rule why you are picking that particular option, that it has an error, but your instinct may tell that the particular option has an error in it. So that is enough for me, in my opinion, because you may not be knowing the exact rule behind the question, but you may be able to arrive at the answer correctly at most of the times. So I think when it comes to English, more than treating it as a language, I think, sorry, more than treating it as a subject, one should treat it as a language, especially these examinations.
Okay.
When it comes to SSC, those examinations, they will be mostly based on rules. So for that examinations, one should definitely go through the rules, concepts and all. But when it comes to regulatory bodies and banking examinations, CAT and all these exams, one should, a good reading habit can make you through.
Okay. Uh, okay, I got your point. Since, say, in your like the whole success story, what I can make out that you put strong emphasis on mock test, right? So starting from the beginning, you were telling that you used to give mock test, sectional test as well. So, I want to listen your personal experience. How many mock tests you gave during your preparation? What was the like frequency, and how you really analyze and find your strength and weakness out of that?
90 to 95 percentage of my preparation include only mock tests. I
Okay.
learn the concept through mock tests. I learned experience everything to mock test. I think I have given each and every mock test from all the platforms available in the internet. I don't even remember the names exactly, but I used to complete all the mock test for, let's take SBI PO. ixamBee will definitely particularly give somewhere around 10 to 15. I used to complete all of them. I used to go for Oliport, textbook, whatever the platforms it may be. I used to complete everything.
Mm.
And when it comes to frequency, for prelims, I used to give somewhere around 2 to 3 a day.
Mm.
And a week or 10 days before my prelims examination, I will go on an extent of giving 6 to 7 prelims mock tests on a day,
On a day.
for a day, definitely. Because
Okay. That's
we
a huge number, I can say.
because we generally prepare somewhere around 7 to 8 hours, right? So
Right.
I'll definitely used to give 6 to 7. So for analyzing them, I used to take 1 to 2 hours cumulatively all mock tests. So my preparation time used to come somewhere around 8 to 9 hours a week before prelims. And for mains, I never prepared particularly separately for mains because from day one I used to prepare GA. I used to give mock tests on every alternate or every 3 days because I don't see mains and prelims as a different part of the examination because just clearing prelims will take you nowhere.
Right.
The day you selected, only your efforts come into,
Absolutely right. Absolutely. I totally got your point. Right. Okay. So you are telling like you have like put a lot of emphasis on mock test, and 6 to 7 mock tests in a day is a really huge task, Kiran. And how much time do you really spend on analyzing those mock tests, analyzing your weakness? So because analyzation is the most important aspect, you have to identify your weakness so that you can improve and work on it, right? So yeah, please.
in the beginning of my preparation, I used to take somewhere around 1 to 2 hours for a mock test of 1 hour to analyze. Like it almost double of what my mock test time used to be. But once I got that rhythm and towards the examination, once I got a hold of all the topics, I think 15 to 20 minutes would be used to suffice for me
Right,
to analyze a mock test.
right. Okay, that's great. So I want you to share your interview experience as well, since you have already shared all the quant reasoning English mantras with us. You have also shared general awareness, how to go for it. Now let's come to the interview part. So how is your experience with the panel members?
I thought that the day result came. Before that, I thought that my interviews were not that good because they grilled me on my past because
Hmm.
I was working with SBI. They were
Right.
always constantly kept me asking why is SIDBI or SBI because
This question
SBI.
I want to ask you: why do you want to go for SIDBI? Like you are working as an SBI PO, so why do you want to join SIDBI? If any aspirants get to know about the real difference between SBI PO and SIDBI,
That's always there's always a very charm in working for regulatory body, right?
right?
Working for SIDBI, you can have a very varied exposure.
Hmm.
You can have a lot of opportunities basically.
Right. And
I
this
don't say that
opportunity
SB.
comes after like very long time. In 2016, we saw SIDBI
uh,
recruitment, and after that, like long time back, we saw it. Right? Yeah. Please continue.
I don't say that one will not have much of an opportunities and exposure at SBI.
Hmm.
They at SBI we do have same things, but when it comes to SIDBI, you can contribute more to the nation. Like it's a development financial institution.
Hmm.
So more than profit, you'll have a motive of serving for the nation. When it
Right.
comes to SBI, it's a commercial bank. At the end of the day, you need to garner profits for both your organization survival as well as for the, competitive in the market. So I think SIDBI won't have that, competition as such when in comparison with SBI.
Right.
Another thing, SIDBI is a very small organization. I think one can have much varied exposure opportunities than SBI because SBI we have somewhere around 2.5 lakh headcount.
Right.
So comparing with SBI, SIDBI is somewhere around 800. It seems. So I think working for a SIDBI will definitely it's a very different feeling.
So were you able to like convince the panel members on these points, these aspects of?
I was able to convey my points to them, but I don't think I have convinced because I thought I have not convinced enough, but eventually when result came, I thought I have made it.
Right,
Able to convince.
right. So what were the other questions? Right, we okay. You told me they grilled on this particular fact. Obviously, they will grill you if you are like doing some really good job in other organizations, so they definitely gonna grill you. So what are the like other aspects of interview?
As I was always already working for SBI for the last 1 year, they asked some few questions on credit related areas, like what is the difference between a working capital and term loan,
Hmm.
and they asked few case study based questions, like one, if a customer approaches you, they were already having some 50 crores of credit with a particular bank, and they were asking for an enhancement of 30 crores. So these type of questions related to credit areas were asked, and few questions regarding SIDBI, and I think few questions regarding current affairs like Russian crisis, impact of Russian crisis on Indian economy basically,
Okay.
and there were fears of inflation in US. So what its impact going to be on India? So Indian economy basically. So these questions were asked.
Okay. Thank you, Kiran, for sharing the wonderful experience. And now you have like achieved, uh, like you can say you got a chance to work with SIDBI. I'm happy for you. So, but I want to know this fact that are you preparing for other regulatory body exams also?
Definitely, sir.
Okay,
RBI and SEBI and NABARD,
RBIs.
these SEBI, NABARD, these
Okay.
examinations.
So you are still competing with like lot of other students. So so one advice that student watching you, like one competitor of their like is standing in front of, because Kiran is still want to go for RBI and other competitive exams, right? So how's your approach now for other competitive? You feel confident that I have cleared all these thing, and now it would be like easy for me to clear RBI, SEBI, and all these exams,
I don't think so. It will not be easy for anyone out there because every examination is a unique in its own way.
right?
But definitely, I will be having some edge over the other aspirants because I will not be having much of a pressure. Like have to crack this examination at any cost because I'm already working for a good organization at a very good pay. So I
Right.
think I'm just giving my attempt for the examination, and I will be cool enough. I will be maintaining that cool throughout the examination process.
Okay. So what's your last advice to all these students? We'll be like we'll wrap after this. So what will be the last advice?
I think I would suggest everyone out there to believe in the process, not to bother much about the output. So results will always follows, I
Right.
think.
Yeah. So one message from my side to all the aspirants, like consistency is the key. If you are consistent enough, putting efforts every single day, doing short things, right? Doing small tasks will make you like achieve a big dream one day. So that's from my side. Thank you, Kiran. Thank you for joining ixamBee and sharing the wonderful experience with all the students. I hope some of them like will learn some good points from this particular session that we have conducted. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining my exam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay. Bye, everyone.